Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen of the press, my distinguished colleagues and the honorable members of the House of Reps, let me start by apologizing to the gentlemen of the press for being late. It is never meant to slight you, but there are circumstances beyond our control. We apologize and we are sorry. Let me go straight to the written speech we have, and it reads: we address you today on the state of insecurity in Zamfara state, which started around 2009 with cases of cattle rustling in isolated areas and villages of the state. Unfortunately, this trend grew into full banditry from 2011, spreading into kidnapping, armed robbery, and other forms of crime. Consequently, the Zamfara state was forced into becoming the center of higher banditry in the entire northwestern region. Suffice to say, this dealt a devastating blow on economic activities in the state, gave rise to restiveness, underdevelopment, destruction of people's legitimate means of livelihood, and needless loss of life. Sadly, too, there was a higher degree of proliferation of firearms. This development birthed an unprecedented hunger regime and unemployment across all working age groups in the state. Ladies and gentlemen, Zamfara state has become notorious for vices that defy all known logic. The insecurity in the state has assumed a dangerously galloping dimension period to the assumption of office of His Excellency, Right Honorable Bello Muhammad Matawalli, the governor of the state. Worried by this development, the state governor, the current state governor, immediately commenced the search for an enduring peace and also rid the state of all forms of crimes. This was in clear recognition that something new needed to be deployed. Wisdom came into being, and the governor opted for carrot and dagger approach in dealing with this brand of crime that was fast growing in a geometric progression. The carrot approach was to dialogue with the repentant bandits with the view to reintegrate them into the society, while the dagger approach was to ensure that the unrepentant bandits pays the full weight of the law. It is important to state unequivocally that the Governor Bello Matawalli clearly inherited a state with total collapse of security, and the best option was to think outside the box. It was crystal clear that using the same old methods and processes will provide no new and desired results. Let me repeat that loneliness, rape, kidnapping, banditry, as well as highway robbery in the Zamfara state had assumed an alarming proportion and posed grave dangers to all and sundry, regardless of tribe, religion, social standing, and political affiliations. The process of the peace initiative and dialogue with repentant bandits was activated immediately. The governor equally thought it is wise to roll out other measures that will address the real causes of cattle rustling, which metamorphose into full banditry. He recognized the fact that there should be an end to the needless loss of lives and destruction of people's livelihood. Governor Tolle fully understood that To achieve an enduring peace and success, there was need to develop a proper program that will replace open grazing into the state and put an end to the persistent farmers' herdsmen prediction as well as cattle rustling. It was not wise to shake hands with a clenched fist. And in the words of Martin Luther King Jr., true peace is not merely the absence of tension, it is the presence of justice. To this end, the governor quickly proposed to establish one rural grazing ground, that is Ruga, in each of the 3 senatorial districts of the state. With modern facilities that will usher in a 21st century method of cattle rearing and product development. The Ruga project guarantees an all-year-round grazing with nutritious grass, water canals, dams, houses, schools, hospitals, and veterinary clinics. Other facilities include police outposts, a mini stadium, as well as place of worship. And as we are speaking to you now, one of the Rugas is about 100% completed. Whoever will want to see can go to Maradu local government. It is there for anybody to see. It is important to state that this and many other interventions have clearly reduced the killings and the attacks in the state, who hitherto were daily occurrences. Today, people living in Zamfara state duly appreciates the genuine intentions and determination of the state governor to ensure an enduring peace, and the support is heartwarming. Gentlemen of the press, this peace initiative that allows repentant bandits to voluntarily surrender their arms and ammunition has undoubtedly ushered in a new dawn in the state. As we speak, people who had deserted their villages have started returning. Farmers have been returning in droves to their farms. The roads are safer today. Markets have reopened and business activities have picked up. Peace is gradually returning to Zamfara. Frankly, it is important that we commend the approach of Governor Bello Matole. It is on this note that we throw our full support for the measures taken by the state governor in taming this menace. We are indeed elated that the governor went further to roll out various forms of palliative welfare packages as well as youth employment in the state. This foresight has helped greatly in addressing immediate needs of the people whose livelihood were destroyed in the wake of the attacks. This and many more will no doubt reset the state on the path of development and ultimately drop an indelible mark on the sands of time. We appreciate our security forces who have keyed into this peace policy. We are grateful to everyone in Zamfara who have provided support for the success of this peace initiative, and also call on the federal government of Nigeria to borrow a leaf from the Zamfara State Peace Initiative to achieve national peace. It is our belief that the federal government should offer amnesty to those repentant bandits in the northwestern region, because we are convinced that these repentant bandits will be encouraged to contribute positively to society. Ladies and gentlemen, the current state of affairs in Zamfara state further convinces us that the peace cannot only be achieved by force. It is evidently clear that peace can also be achieved through understanding and genuine dialogue. This conviction comes on the heels of similar success recorded in the Niger Delta, when the late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua granted amnesty to repentant bandits in that region. Today, the story in that once troubled area is clearly not the same. The amnesty worked perfectly by turning the criminals minded into productive elements, and they are usefully contributing to the society in various fields of endeavor. Today, the attacks on critical infrastructures, including oil installations, pipeline vandalism, and the adoption of expatriates in the region have drastically reduced courtesy of the Amnesty program. This is a testimony that peace cannot only be achieved through the use of excessive force. It is evident that dialogue and genuine commitment of both parties is also a vital tool in tackling insecurity. It is gratifying that there is an increase in oil production in the region following the take-up of the Amnesty program in the Niger Delta region. The provision of scholarship for repentant militants as well as unemployment are some of the success of the Amnesty, and this has returned peace to the area and the Nigeria in general. We can achieve same peace in the Northwest region if the federal government extends this olive branch to repentant bandits. We equally call on other states in the Northwest region of this country to also initiate peace dialogue with their various states as a way of fighting these vices for the peace and development of the region. Because history have shown that no nation, state, or region can develop in the face of higher insecurity. We must work in unionism and patriotism to clear these hurdles for a better tomorrow so that history will judge us kindly. Desmond Tutu says, and I quote, "If you want peace, you don't talk to your friends, you talk to your enemies." So there is absolutely nothing wrong in pursuing peace through dialogues with repentant bandits who are prepared to be reintegrated into the society. We therefore appeal to all governors of the Northwest, regardless of their political party affiliations, to confront banditry using Governor Betole's model. We need to work for peace for the future by changing the mindsets of the bandits, creating employment opportunities for the youth, and resolving the very issues that could potentially trigger crimes. We call on all hands to be on deck. This is not about the personal interests of the Zamfara State Governor or any one of us here. It is about ridding our region of these vices and making the region safer, prosperous, and peaceful. This is about returning the entire region to its good old days where everybody moved freely and conducted his or her legitimate business without any fear of being taken into the forest or killed or raped. What we experience today does not represent what we are, and we must come together to move away from it. It is disheartening, and we must work assiduously to right this set of wrongs and ills in our society. Ladies and gentlemen, so much is expected of our leaders, and we must all rise to the occasion. We must make decisions that will serve the general interest of Nigeria, and the time is now. The Zamfara State Governor has provided a workable model, and it is our conviction that if replicated in all the states of the Northwest and Nigeria in general, we will be in a better and stronger tomorrow. Gentlemen of the press, we thank you for your attention and listening. Thank you.
Okay. Punch. Vanguard, Tribune. Those three, please, so that we can go for production.
Sorry, there is one correction I will want to make. We referred to Niger Delta as bandits. They are not bandits then. They were militants. So please take this correction.
Three questions, please. Punch, Vanguard, Tribune.
Distinguished nation and members of the House of Representatives, you talked about, first, permit me to sit down so that not be blocking the First of all, you spoke about amnesty for bandits, for repentant bandits. The question in the lips of most Nigerians is that since you are comparing the type of amnesty you are proposing to the one that we have in the Niger Delta, that in the case of the Niger Delta, they were agitators. They believe that their economy, the economy of the nation is being sustained by their own resources. in their region, and they are not having anything to show for it. These people are known, they are organized, we know they are leaders. But in the case of the bandits now, majority of them are said to be foreigners who are coming into Nigeria. So the assurance that we want to give Nigeria is that how will you be able to number one, to see, then two, to control this program? What assurance are you giving Nigerians that this program will not collapse? Just, I mean, simply because these people are not known and most of them are from our foreigners. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for this question.
Okay. You take one by one? Or
Yes, I would rather take it one by one because I'm elderly and we tend to forget some of those things. What I want you to understand is that this banditry we are now facing started as an agitation. Agitation in the sense this set of people, the Fulani herders, whatever you may call them, were neglected by the authorities of those days. Neglected in the sense that they are not given schools where they could send in their children, no proper place of grazing for their cattle, not even water in some of the places they live. So from there they started agitating. And the governments of those days refused to understand this. If only they did, and they started to provide this grazing grounds, properly grazing ground where they may have schools for their children, where they may have water for their cattle, where they will have clinics, where they will have everything they will need, you will have stopped them from migrating from one place to the other. And by the time they migrate, on the way, they find some hurdles. Some of their cattle are being killed. In some places, they are prevented from staying to rear their cattle. And they started agitating that, are we not Nigerians? And, if only they are educated, the agitation will have been different. It will have been the same with the way the Niger Delta militants did their own. But unfortunately, they felt the best way is to protect themselves and their cattle. And they do this by starting to fight with these sticks. And it now turns into guns. So it is the same, not quite necessarily the same. They are different in the sense that these ones are educated, they can handle their situation. These ones are left uneducated, and they could not even know where to go and place their agitations. So you can clearly see the difference.
Are you saying that all of them are Nigerians?
Well, I can't say. Are you telling me that all of those militants in Niger Delta are Nigerians? There may be some from Cameroon. No. Excuse me. Excuse me. Please give me that understanding. Please give me that understanding. I am not here to argue. I am not here to make things difficult for us. What I am here for is to clarify issues. What I am here for is to make maybe an example, anything near to what is happening. So please, I cannot claim to know that those militants in Niger Delta, some of them are, all of them are Nigerians, are not Nigerians. I cannot claim that because I don't know. I don't have the statistics. I don't have the history. It is only the authorities, maybe the police, whatever, can actually clarify that all of them are Nigerians. But to my belief, since the gentleman of the press here told me that all of them are Nigerians, I take it all of them are Nigerians.
After Vanguard, final.
Distinguished sir, and members of the House of Reps, I am Henry Momoru, a report for Vanguard. Distinguished, you are calling, NAS lawmakers are calling for amnesty for repentant armed bandits. And you made a comparison between them and the repentant Niger Delta people. Sir, I want to say here unequivocally that the Niger Delta agitators were against marginalization, oppression, poverty, and everything, and they restricted their own within the Niger Delta region. They did not go to other areas. And also, they were only maybe they will just capture the expatriate and negotiate so that they will be able to work. 3, they were breaking the pipes. As at that time, they were not killing. Now, wait, sir. Now, Senator Goswell, I know what I'm saying, sir. Now, you are calling for amnesty for the armed bandits who killed, who engaged in wanton destruction of property. Okay, let us assume it's given to them. What is your plan for those families that are there now that have been left behind without the breadwinners?
No.
Hello, sir.
Okay.
What provision? Are you also having amnesty or making palliative or bringing things for those places, those people they killed, that their children are now languishing in poverty? Those children that are now homeless because their houses were burned. What provision are you making? Since you are saying they should be granted amnesty, provision for the children who are now fatherless. Thank you.
Thank you. I will want you to stop comparing banditry and militancy. There are two different things, clearly. And I mentioned this not quite long, that there are two different things. You made this correction yourself, and I accepted the correction. You understand? But it all started as an agitation. The Niger Delta were agitating for peace, for fairness and justice in what they produce in their area. Agreed. So also these people, they started as an agitation, but by being neglected by the authorities that be. So limit my understanding there. You understand? If you extend my understanding, I'm not. I don't belong to those people. I don't know what they do. I don't know what they consider in taking such a decision they have now taken. And both sides have been killing. Please, let's stop that comparison of Niger Delta and these people. I'm only trying to bring a theory that is very close, or close, at least close to what is happening. I'm not comparing, because I'm trying to see the solution of Niger Delta as the best of solution taken in this country. So also, if this solution is accepted by the authorities that be, and by those people that think, yes, these killings must stop, all we're after is the killing should stop. By that time, these orphans you are talking about, these widows you are talking about, they will not exist. But by the way we are, if we continue, we will be having more and more orphans, more and more widows, and I don't think you can give us a solution to what to do now.
Okay, last question, please.
Distinguished, I will start by commending the bipartisan approach to this security issue. The question I want to ask, you just asked earlier, but you didn't respond to, is why I need to emphasize. These bandits, 2 days ago on the floor of the Senate, you spoke about the history of this bandit will be several years, to which the President of the Senate agreed that it's much more than that. And it is clear that they are not all Nigerians. In this strategy for amnesty, can you clearly state what are the measures to be adopted to be able to sieve Nigerian headers, foreign headers? Because it will be very unfortunate. It will be very unfortunate that you use Nigerian resources to grant amnesty to foreigners who come into rage nation. What are the clear strategies?
One. Understand what I'm trying to say, or what I said. We are not saying give amnesty to all these people. Give amnesty to those that repent. By the time you repent, you are repenting in front of an authority. 1, you must declare all your arms. 2, you must be investigated to know where you come from, to establish where you come from and who you are. By the time that is done, and you are identified as Nigerian, you enjoy that amnesty, and you will be watched under the authorities. If you are not a Nigerian, they can take you back to your country, hand you over to your state government, and will keep watch on you crossing back from any of the borders of Nigeria.
Cattle and dagger approach.
Please.
Working in Zamfara.
Please.
Carrot and dagger approach.
Gentlemen of the press.
Gentlemen of the press.
Gentlemen of the press.
One house.
Gentlemen of the press.
One house.
Consider me. Please, listen to me. Consider me. Consider us as distressed Nigerians. Here was a distress call that are looking for solution from every Nigerian, including the pressmen. So please, try to be nationalistic. Try not to give us those type of front page, what do you call them? Please, try to do whatever you want to do in an attempt for us to get a solution to this problem. Please, don't add fuel to the fire. Please.